Hi guys, today I'm bringing you a review and first impressions of the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. Okay, so I'm going to prime one side of my face and I'm going to leave the other side without a primer. I already did moisturize beforehand, so that's already all put on. I'm going to use my Too Faced primer with this. So I'm going to take one pump. It's probably a little too much for half the face. I usually take one pump for the whole face, but I'm going to do it anyway. That's how much I'm going to put on. I'm gonna just rub it in. I like to warm it up a little bit with my fingers just because it's a little cold when it goes on my face. And I just feel like it just settles in a little better when I do that. Okay, so. Okay, so as you can tell, I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. As you can tell, this is one side prime, this is not. So I'm going to take my wet beauty blender and I'm going to take the foundation and I'm just going to pump like half of it on the back of my hand. Okay, so I pumped like half of it, pretty decent amount, and I'm just going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to dab it on. I usually just smear it on, but I just feel like this sometimes gets a little more flawless finish. And I'm going to just dab it on my face. I'm going to dab, then blend. Okay. So I'm going to do it again, half for the other side. And I'm just going to bring it on my eyelids as well. I like for it to have like the same color. I like to prime it that way. And I'm going to bring it underneath and down my neck as well. I just feel like that works a lot better for me, especially if I have a color that may be a little bit off. It all just blends together a little more evenly that way. Bring it underneath. Okay. And get into all those little nook and crannies on your face. Okay. So as you can tell, that is one coat. In fact, it was just half on each side, so I guess that you would say it's one full pump. It is a nice coverage so far. It says it's medium to full coverage. I'm just gonna go in a little. Okay, so it says it's medium to full coverage, and what I can tell, it does look like it is medium coverage as of right now. I can still see my freckles like over here on my cheekbones and underneath my eyes and also on the bridge of my nose. So I'm just going to see if it does go into a full coverage without it being too cakey or too much. So I'm going to take another pump. I'm going to take just one full pump this time instead of half and half. I don't know why I did that. I usually don't do that. So I'm going to take one full pump, and that's one full pump, which is pretty decent size. And this time I'm going to take my foundation brush instead of my beauty blender. It's just something I like to do to get a little more of a flawless look to my face, and it covers up my freckles a little better. So I'm going to take it, I dabbed it, that's how much I dabbed, and I'm just going to dab on my face as well. It's another way to cover up my freckles. So if you have problem skin, that probably would be an easier way to cover something up instead of just blending it out, because when you blend it out, you're kind of shearing your foundation out. And it's just, you're not going to get that full coverage that you want. So just dab all over your face and then blend. I'm going to bring it down here. And again, down my neck, because I always put that on. It has to all be in sync with each other. Okay. Oh, my hair. It's getting in the way. Okay, so that was the second pump, and that was with the Beauty Blender and then the foundation brush. Wow. Okay. Guys. Oh my god. Okay, so this definitely is a medium to full coverage. It definitely is. And it's very buildable, as you can tell. Before it was nice, but now you could tell it's full on coverage. Oh my god. It even covers up my freckles. Wow. Okay. You can tell like very little if you like really stared at yourself, that you could see like very little freckles like here and there, and I usually have them like all over my face, so it's covering them up pretty damn well. Like, oh my god, I've never had a foundation that did that before. I've had some heavy duty foundations and they never even did this. Even on the bridge of my nose, they're covering up pretty well. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, I am so blown away right now. Okay, so at first impression, this is definitely a medium to full coverage. For me to get that full coverage, to cover up all my dark freckles, I had to put 2 pumps on my face. But even doing so, it's not cakey, it's not heavy, it's a very lightweight formula. It's moisturizing, it's very lightweight formula, which I'm shocked about. Usually foundations are very cakey and heavy if it's a full coverage foundation. It's not like sticky, it's not tacky. And usually like if I put a lot of foundation on, it usually settles into my fine lines up here and over here, and it doesn't seem to be doing that just yet. So that's also a plus. Now this is the side I primed, and this is the side I didn't prime. And honestly, looking in the mirror right now, it doesn't look like there's really any difference between me priming it and me not priming it. So that is actually good because you don't have to prime with this. I'm going to come back within maybe, I don't know, 4 or 6 hours. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to see how the day goes. But it's supposed to be really hot here today. It's supposed to be almost 100 degrees. We're having like a heat wave. So I am going to see how it holds up in the heat wave. And I'm going to see if there's any difference to either side with or without the primer. So, whoa. So next time you see me, I will have my full face on, all my whole makeup thing going, and I will definitely let you know, and I'll be back. Okay, so it's been 4 hours, and I have to tell you, I am so speechless how wonderful this foundation actually is. It did not go into any of my fine lines or wrinkles. It did not go into my pores. It did not gather around my eyes where it usually does. I put on the primer on one side of my face, and the other side I left just with the foundation. And I haven't noticed that the side without the primer did anything different than the side with the primer. They actually both held up pretty well, and it is really hot today where I am. And as you can tell, my face on both sides look exactly the same. Like, one doesn't look more cakey, one doesn't look more moisturized, one doesn't look like it's fading at all. They both look exactly the same. Nobody would know that I put a primer on one side and none on the other. So, but it looks like my skin. I gotta tell you, it looks exactly like my skin. It looks like I'm born this way. Thank you, Too Faced. In the beginning, I thought this foundation wasn't going to work for me. I thought that the color was going to be a little off. It was going to be like a little too dark for my skin. But the more I wore it, the more I realized that it was matching my skin more and more. Now, I just wanted to get into the bottle and how it looks, and a little about the packaging, because to me, this packaging is so gorgeous. It is pretty. It is, of course, all pink, and it has the little black and gold trimming all around the packaging, and of course it says born this way in gold, and I just thought that was such a pretty little touch to it. And I just want to read to you a little bit of what it's supposed to do and what they're claiming. It says infused with coconut water, alpine rose. It says 100% said this foundation blurred their imperfections, 98 said that it was absolutely perfect, and 97 said natural coverage. Now I'm gonna have to agree with all three of these claims. And it says that it was natural coverage. It does look like it's natural coverage. Like honestly, sitting here with you guys in like 100-degree weather, I don't feel like there's any foundation on my face whatsoever. And for me to tell you that is just like a miracle on itself. It is oil free, it says, so that is good. And again, here's the packaging. It's very nice. Here's the bottle. I'm gonna show it again. Now, of course, it has the black top, which I like. It has the Too Faced on top. It is a glass jar. I don't know if you could tell, but it's not just a clear glass jar. It is like a frosted matte glass jar, and it's just like, it's just so pretty. And of course it says Too Faced, and I got the warm beige, so this works for me. And oh god, I just absolutely love this foundation. Okay, so when I was wearing it, I didn't notice any downfalls to it. Everything that they are claiming, I feel like is true. It's amazing foundation. It's so worth the $39. They're a good price point. That's all I'm saying. In celebration of this wonderful foundation, I am wearing all the Too Faced products on my face. If you liked my review, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.